Well, it's Wednesday, a little bit after 3 in the morning. I finally put the AC thingy sticking the hose out the window. It's a little portable thing that you can roll around. That's what the noise is if you hear it. So I was working on a project. Tonight at 7 o'clock is our first rehearsal for the play. And my character wears like a paint smock and a beret because she paints a lot or something. So I stopped at the thrift store. Got a great big flouncy shirt. And I fixing it up. Took the pockets off to make it look like a paint smock. And I got some black fabric to make a beret. So I was in the process of the shirt's taken care of. I'm going to wash it in the morning. Well, it is morning, but later in the morning. And I'm making a little black beret. So I was up. That's why I was up so late. And I've been watching the news, and I can't stand more than 1 or 2 minutes of it. Get to the fucking point. Tell me what's happened. Don't sit and go on and on and on about it. I don't care what side you're on. Just don't go on and on about it. Just like those videos. Stay till the very end, and we've got a surprise for you. It's like we have a list of 7 things that you can do to blah blah blah, and they take their friggin' time, and it's like I can't make a list. Get to it. Life's too short, And so I was catching up on Facebook. I sent out some funny pictures of kitty cats doing silly stuff to some of my friends, and there was a message from my brother wrote. I had mentioned that if anyone wanted to go to the No King Day March or whatever, and I gave out the website, and I said, if you go to this, be very peaceful, no problems, no troubles, and that's all it was, informing people that anyone that wanted to go, they just look that website up and they see where they can stand or go. And my brother, who lives in Georgia, and his wife inherited over $1 million apparently. In other words, they're not hurting, and they can be conservative. That's fine. You can be conservative, but you're my brother. We were both raised pretty much the same, I think, with the same kind of ideas and church and everything else. It's like, what happened? I know I made some poor decisions and picked the wrong person to marry and be with, who didn't want to work, and I worked. We were poor. We were dirt poor at times, and I am the one that shouldered all the shit. Well, that didn't happen to him. He was the golden child. My mom loved him and berated me, and now he's berating me. He all but called me a snowflake. He said, oh, that was all planned and it was all violent. They dropped off truckloads of bricks for them to smash and burn things and all that. I'm thinking, no, they didn't. Where's he hearing that from? This isn't St. Louis. Nobody said. The only things set on fire were driverless cars. No people were hurt by the peaceful protesters. Now, I don't know who set the cars on fire. It could have been anybody. But there were no buildings set afire. There were no people causing trouble and hitting policemen or anything. There was none of that. A policeman came in and beat the people up. And the ICE people, the immigration people, have been going and hiding in buildings waiting for the people to show up because they want to be citizens, and they're doing it the legal way. And then they grab them and take them and kidnap them and take them to Mexico or whatever. I mean, this stuff is really going on. And I know some people that are affected by the ICE. And they're very concerned. They and their parents have been in this country all their lives. But just because they're Mexican descent, they're targeted. It's like the blacks in the 50s. If you were black, you were treated like absolute garbage. Nobody gave you a chance for nothing. Now, I don't know about the march in Birmingham back in the 60s and all that. I don't know much about that, except people showed up in droves to say, this is not cool, this needs to change. And basically that's what we were doing at the No King Day March. We're saying, this is not good. You want change, fine, but this is not how to do it. So my brother, he typed up a whole lot of stuff and called me a hippie and said, well, you've got to go through legal. You don't like the rules, and you people, and you. He's got this mindset that I am of this group of lazy buttholes that don't want to do anything and live off the government and all that stuff. Well, I'm of the age to get Social Security. I don't get as much as other people because I quit a job that I had to go get married to someone else, and that didn't work out. Didn't end up getting married. So I came back, and my job was automated by that time, and I worked hand to mouth, cleaning people's houses, taking care of sick people. I worked at McDonald's, and that's not a place for an older person to work, really. It's like a first job you have so that you know what working is like and getting along with people and all that stuff. But my brother David, he's just like a lot of those people. They gun-toting, always suspecting people of doing something wrong to them. Who are the ones that got hurt and killed? Who's the senator that got shoved on the ground and handcuffed? They were all Democrats. I don't think the Democrats killed them. Probably not, right? And my heart's broken that I think that I don't have a brother anymore. It was just he and I were the last. My other brother died, my mom and dad are both gone, and now he's like saying, I don't want to know you, I don't want you to be alive anymore, type of attitude. Calls me a snowflake, pretty near anyway. I don't care, snowflakes are beautiful, but why do they have to do this? I'm not saying all Republicans this or that, but there's a lot of things going on. Oh, he said, well, if you do something wrong, you need to be put in jail for it. What do you think some of the leaders are doing? Like Jeffrey Epstein and Trump and a bunch of those cronies and we're doing some sick things. I worked with a girl who was a debutante when she was younger. All the young girls were invited to these pool parties, and the creepy old political guys would hide in the closet and watch the girls change clothes. And even I was offered some things when I was younger. I was offered some good positions in broadcasting if I went to a convention in New Orleans with somebody. And I said, I'm not that kind of girl. Not too long after that, I was given the heave-ho by the school. The school was run by the brother of a senator? I'm not sure what his brother was in Washington as a congressman or something. So there were a lot of shady things. There's always a lot of shady things going on. And I don't know what their political affiliation was. It doesn't matter. That kind of stuff goes on. And you should be punished for it. You should. You know, if I go set something on fire or rob someone's house or hurt somebody, then I have to have consequences. But these guys in power don't have any consequences. So they're running rampant like little 4-year-olds and 3-year-olds. And having a 3-year-old grandson, I can see the behavior of a 3-year-old. And that's how a lot of these grown-ups are acting. You know, I don't like it, so I'm going to kill him. I don't like it, so he has to leave. This is mine. This is mine. You know, it's that attitude. That's wrong. There are freeloaders in this country. That's true. And no matter how you change the laws for welfare, there's always going to be people that grow up in the system and are going to know how to cheat. Always. I had to depend on some welfare for a period of time in my life. I was working and still couldn't afford to do everything. We had to choose between paying the electric or the gas. I chose the electric because if you chose gas, the furnace still ran off electricity. And so many times I was told I made $2 too much. And I didn't stand there with my hand out. I worked hard. And my ex didn't want to work at all. So he didn't. I made some really bad decisions. But I didn't know how to make decisions. So, and I didn't have nobody with good advice, nobody to help me. Brian, when I say that, Brian always goes, well, you're playing the martyr again. No, I'm not playing the martyr. I'm just explaining why I'm in the position and the mindset that I am in. There are a lot of weird people out here, and there are a lot of people that want something for nothing. There's a ton of homeless people. And I talked to my friend Terry up in Iowa, and she said there's so many homeless people up there. I'm not sure exactly how that starts, whether it's people losing their job or drugs, probably. You know, they get hooked on that, and any bit of money they have goes to drugs because they're so hooked on it that if they went cold turkey, it would probably kill them. And they need help, and they can't get help. Speaking of which, I'm feeling so bad right now. There was a helpline called Friend Line, Phone a Friend, and it was volunteers from a church group. It was a 24 hours a day thing. You could call for 10 minutes and talk to somebody, just to talk to someone. That line's not available anymore. It's gone. So it made me feel really bad, really sad, and I'm feeling really sad now. I have a lot to do. The joke for today is already up and out. It's not bad. It's not dirty. Oh, darn. And I was looking for just a couple groceries and stocking the pantry, make sure I had some Hershey's cocoa powder. The stores don't have Hershey's cocoa powder. Whether it has something to do with the supply chain, getting the cocoa beans from South America, I don't know. But there's no Hershey's cocoa. Which means, if that's a true thing, that means all candy is going to go skyrocketing in price, or there won't be any on the shelf. It's going to be like Russia and Romania back in the 70s. You can buy all the food you want as long as you like cabbage. You know, that kind of thing. I'm bumming. I am really bumming. I've a lot to do, and this last week and a half, I wake up and I get this profound sadness that settles inside of me. Just profound sadness. Debilitating sadness. Healthcare is really difficult. I can't talk to a counselor or anything till I see a doctor. The nearest doctor visit is at the very end of August. I guess a guy has to walk down the highway and hope to get hit. Done that before. People don't understand it. Suicide's nothing to really joke about. Some of the people think those are things you can joke about. No, it's not. I don't know, man. I didn't get anything more than an associate's degree, almost a bachelor's, but not, and a certificate for attending a broadcast center. I didn't get a broadcast job. I was offered one, a couple of them, but my husband at the time said, no, you're not going to do it. I'm not getting up at 4 a.m. so you can go riding around in a helicopter and reporting the traffic. And no, you're not doing this, and you're not doing that. That's another thing I think is bullshit. If you can do something, you have the ability to do it, and they'll pay you, and it's not illegal, and someone tells you, no, you can't do it. I was tired of hearing no my whole life. I am growing in a lot of ways. I don't let the kids go nutsoid anymore when I watch them. But I have to communicate better with Brian so that if I'm doing something wrong, he tells me right away so that there's no hard feelings when I do something stupid. I think we're all getting better at that. But I don't like this regime. Not at all. High school, I had a boyfriend that was really into Nazis and Hitler. So I learned all about it. I had books, I read all about it. So I kind of mini-studied it just so I knew how he ticked, and he hasn't grown emotionally at all since high school. He's kind of nuts, and he reenacts being a Nazi. And I've had many, many dreams in my life of a certain theater, and I don't know where it is. Maybe it's in Germany. And had something to do with the theater people. And then the last time I dreamed about this place, the Nazis came in and they were after me. And I ran out the backstage door, and that's all I remember. But before that last dream, I had dreamed of this place many, many times. So I'm wondering maybe if I lived that life. And if I did, then I really do have a fear of these nutbags. We live in a pretty conservative neighborhood, in a conservative area, so I have to be careful what I say and how I dress. Can't wear my support for the people that are trying for better things. My brother says you have to work at it the proper way with rules and regulations, and you people don't like rules, and you people are butthurt, and like, you people. I guess I'd rather not have a brother than have one that berates me like that. That's a shame. You can pick your friends, but you can't pick your relatives. I'm sorry, I've talked almost 20 minutes and it doesn't feel any better. I'm still feeling angst. I need help. We need help in this country. Trump was at a G7 meeting up in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and Zelensky from Ukraine was coming in, and Trump knew it. He left right before Zelensky got there. Apparently when you want something and you're trying to pull wool over someone's eyes, and I've seen con men work, and I've seen narcissists at work. I lived under narcissism. And they switch the subject, or they, if they don't like something, they ignore you, or they hurt you somehow. Apparently, Trump was trying to say something or do something, and he left in a hurry. He didn't like he wasn't getting whatever he needed. The narcissist was not getting his fix. Now, my brother ought to know damn well, because he had my same mother, except he was a golden child and I was the scapegoat. So that probably had a lot to do with how he developed. Sorry for the lights. When the AC unit clicks on, they dim. I don't know. I need the cat up here on the bed to hug and love, but he's been under the bed. Probably it's cooler down there. I put this shirt on so I could film. But I go to bed without anything on. It got up to like 100 degrees, and it's going to be up like that for a while. We're in summer. So, I don't know, I'm really bumming. So much to do. And I was thinking about it. I always say, hey, I leave stuff for myself to do so I can still stay alive. But now I realize it doesn't freaking matter. People die without getting anything done. I watch comedy as much as I can when I'm depressed. And boy, I've been watching a lot of it. Or I'll hook the music up to help you sleep or something. I don't know. I'm really bumming. I hope this place, being in a play, can snap me out of it. I don't know. I know anyone that watches me, there are people that don't agree with me or what I believe in. That's fine. And there are people that I don't agree with. Live your life. Don't shove it down my throat. If I don't want to watch you, I won't watch you. Same goes for you and me. You know what I mean? If you don't like what I'm thinking or saying, plenty of other people out there you can watch. And this world is so full of people. And there's so many homeless people out here. I think it's because there's a lot of people out here. Just a lot. Percentage of groups of people, It's a high percentage of homeless because there's so many people out here. Sometimes I'd just rather be, if I have to be alive, in the forest somewhere. Not in a cabin, but just something simple in an area where people are cool. Where people don't point at you and think and say bad things about you and to you. Like I said before, if I'm called a snowflake, I don't care, because snowflakes are beautiful. I wish I could hug somebody. I don't know. Yeah. Today's going to be a tough one. I was hoping it'd be better, but it's going to be a tough one. Really tough to go upward and onward.